right. Hey, everybody.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to try.
It's a Mama Karen episode.
Yeah, kind of crazy. This is not my norm, so bear with me. Bear with me. But I wanted to talk about the first American female serial killer, Aileen Wuornos.
Wasn't she... Didn't she get executed?
Yeah, she did, actually. She did, and the funny part about when she got executed, when you asked for your last meal, she didn't want anything to eat. She just wanted a cup of coffee.
That would totally be me. Get me an iced caramel macchiato, and I'm good to go.
Yeah,
Strap me up, baby.
I don't need a steak. I don't need anything. Just give me solid caffeine.
I don't know. I might ask for pork belly with the skin, but my husband specifically has to cook it.
Correct. Absolutely. Or your dad. Both make it very well.
Oh, yeah.
She was born Aileen Carol Pittman in Rochester, Michigan, to Leo and Diane Pittman. She had one brother. His name was Keith. Aileen never knew her father. He was sent to prison for life for kidnapping and raping a 7-year-old girl.
Oh, so being a criminal runs in the family.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, if you know what I'm saying. So there was definitely mental illness in the family.
Hey, at least she didn't go after kids.
Yeah, that's true. When she was 4 years old, her mother, Diane, abandoned her and the children, leaving them with their maternal grandparents, which was Laurie and Britta Wuornos. They were both, severe alcoholics.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Just a big old mixing pot of bad.
Mm-hmm. Bad and badder. By the age of 11, she began engaging in sex at school for, cigarettes and drugs and food. I guess she would sit there and have sex with people and sell, or for trade so she could have cigarettes. 1970, she was raped by a family friend and became pregnant. Her grandparents sent her to go live in an unwed mother's home on March 23rd, which is actually coming up, which is kind of a date for all of us, or for us. She gave birth to her baby boy, and she had to place him up for adoption. 3 months after giving birth, she dropped out of school after her grandmother died of liver failure. Her grandfather actually blamed her for her grandmother's death, but it was, the end result was it just had to be liver failure.
Huh?
Yeah.
It wasn't her fault that y'all were alcoholics. What the hell?
Well, there was also suspected that her grandfather was molesting her, and he obviously beat her, abused her and stuff like that, even when her grandmother was alive.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. So her grandma died, and then at the age of 15, her grandfather threw her out. She didn't have anywhere to go, so she began living in the woods near their house, at the end of the street. She lived in the woods, sometimes slept in an abandoned car and stuff like that. But then ultimately had to support herself through prostitution. Bitch gotta eat.
Living in the woods. Raw dogging that shit.
You have to eat.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to blame her. I know what she did was somewhat horrific, but it's hard for me to blame her because she had such a hard upbringing. And then mental illness obviously ran in her family with her father, and who knows, it's a lot. So, lived in the woods, and then I guess in 1976, she said, I'm going to get the hell out of here. It's cold as fuck. So she hitchhiked to ride to Florida. Um,
We
good old,
hate Florida.
we do. I lived there for many years, but good old
Freaking hate Florida.
I-75 is a friend of mine because I've been up and
Yep.
down I-75, so this is where she does
I
most
I
of her
used to
work.
go there every summer
Yeah.
because my birth mama. Hi, mom. I know you're watching this. Love you. Um, her friend Brianna used to live in Florida, and we went every summer.
Yeah. So
That shit
I-75,
was humid.
very humid and a straight shot, very flat. There was nothing to look at, but
Yeah. There were a lot of lizards, though. I liked the lizards.
that was definitely a change for me because when I moved there, I moved from Chicago. So when I saw, nobody even warned me about the lizards, but I was like, holy shit, they're everywhere. And now the iguanas are free range because we let them free. But in 1976, she hitchhiked to Florida, as you did in 1976, where she met a 69-year-old yacht club president. His name was Lewis Fell. They married quickly, but she was abusive to him, and I guess she used to beat him with his cane. Yeah.
Oh
Like,
my god! That is downright diabolical.
yeah, she was like, I'm not putting up with your shit. I'm gonna beat you with a
She
cane.
beat him with his own cane?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the point that caused him to get a restraining order against her within weeks of their marriage.
Weeks? Within.
Weeks.
Oh. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
And then he annulled their marriage after 9 weeks. He was like, "Bitch is crazy. I'm out. She's beating
That's
you."
so.
I mean, he
That's
had.
not funny, but that's funny.
If you listen to or if you do the math, she was only 20 years old, so she shouldn't have been with his old ass anyways. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's a perv for doing it. So of course she beat him with his cane. So, do you want to talk about the guys that she murdered? Because she was only charged with 6, but there was actually 7. But they couldn't charge her with the
Oh.
7th one because they didn't find his body.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So she couldn't be charged with that one. So we'll start with the first one, the series of the murders, all done on I-75, like I told you, up
Yeah.
and down. We have Mr. Richard Mallory, who was 51. He was an electronics store owner in Clearwater, Florida. Wuornos claimed that he beat, raped, and sodomized her after he drove her to an abandoned area for sexual services, later to become known that Richard had been convicted of attempted rape in Maryland. 2 days after the murder, the police found Mallory's abandoned vehicle on December 13th, and his body was found several miles away in a wooded area. He had been shot 9 times with a 22.
God, someone was angry.
No, yeah, she never just shoots him to kill. She shoots him to like punish, and she's a big fan of the 22. I am as well. Shot him in his left lung and was found to have been the cause of death. So, one fun fact about this old guy, Richard Mallory, 51 years old. She claimed that he poured rubbing alcohol in her private parts, and that's why she went the hell off on him.
Oh my god.
It just kind of, I guess, triggered a response to the abuse that she had already previously endured.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have her second victim. That is David Spears. He's 47. He was a construction worker in Winter Garden. He was declared missing May 19th, but on June 1st in 1990, his naked body was found along I-75 and has been shot 6 times with a 22. So we know it was her. We'll know if it's her because of what they say later on.
Do we know how she got the 22?
No, we don't. But it's definitely she's known for like stealing people's cars, guns, and their
Okay.
belongings. And she actually, the reason why she ends up getting caught is because she's got pawn tickets. Because she'll steal the car and then go on to her next endeavor. But she, whatever they have that's worth money, she'll pawn it. But they found her pawn tickets in the cars.
Oh. Damn, that's
Hmm.
some sloppy work right there, sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, that's why she was only a serial killer for a year. But
Yeah.
but but she did a lot in 1 year.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it.
she
My
was
God.
she was upset. She was very upset, which I get.
Honestly, I would have been too.
Hmm. She is not wrong because the stuff that she abused, and then there was even accusations of incest with her brother. Like her boundaries were all screwed up, and any man in her life had always wronged her or wasn't around. So I think that's why she was angry. Like you don't just shoot somebody 9 times to kill them. You can kill them
Oh
in two.
yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about Mr. Number 3. That was Charles Cardigan. He was 40 years old and a rodeo worker. She killed him on May 31st, 1990. He was found on June 6th. His naked body was found in Pasco County. He was shot again 9 times with a 22. The body was wrapped in an electric blanket and was badly decomposing when they actually found him. Um, Witnesses, this is the first time she was witnessed in anybody's car, but witnesses saw Wuornos in the possession of his car, and she also pawned a gun identified and belonging to Charles. So there was a pawn ticket with her name on it from there. And people saw, they're like, that's not your car. I know whose car that is. She's going through these small Florida towns.
That's
Um,
wow.
one thing I
Also,
Go ahead.
what? Do, do we know why she strips them naked before she leaves them? Is it
It's
like a
funny.
humiliation thing?
No, it's because I think it's a sex thing. It's funny you say that because I was just going to bring up a fun fact about him. She starts to get undressed because she's gonna, obviously
Yeah.
provide services, and so she always asks them to get undressed. So with Charles, she actually got undressed, and as he was getting undressed, she got out of the side of the car, walked around, and then blew his brains out from the driver's side window.
Oh wow. Before he
Hmm.
was even like fully undressed,
I
or
mean, it said he was getting undressed, so yeah.
oh
And
wow.
yeah.
She got a little impatient with that one.
Yeah. She's like, you're instead of, I mean, she could have just shot him right there, sitting in the passenger seat, but for some reason, she gave him a few minutes to get undressed and blew his brains out. Then we have number 4, Mr. Peter Sims. He was 65. He was a retired seaman. In 1990, his car was found in Orange Springs, Florida. So, one thing I haven't mentioned is that Aileen had like met a girl, and so she was kind of starting to
Mm.
date females, and kind of fell in love with this girl, and so basically she had to support their relationship with her prostitution. She met her at like I can't remember where she met her at. It was like I think she worked at a hotel, and they met, and so they started to have a type of relationship. So she was um, prostituting. I don't know if Ty knew or not, but she was prostituting in order to support their relationship. So when Aileen had murdered Peter, her and Ty were seen in Peter's car, and they had actually gotten into like a car accident and then left the scene. But when they left the scene, Eileen's handprint was found on the interior door handle.
Oh.
Yeah. So they kind of left some, and there was witnesses. So now there's like a description. And, Eileen, because of her lifestyle earlier on, she had already been fingerprinted. She had had a DUI and different stuff like that. And so, yeah, her stuff was already on paper. So they started to catch on, and then there was the description. Mind you, all just happening in 1 year.
That's nuts. This Thai girl, if she was involved, wouldn't she be locked up too? Like if she knew about it because she was hiding a serial killer. Pretty much.
Well, that's where once we get through all of her murders, I'll explain where Ty comes in to how she actually gets caught.
Okay.
Can't always trust your friends.
Ooh.
So who we are? All right. So we did Troy. He was number 5. Wait, did we do Troy, the sausage salesman?
I don't think so. No.
No, I think we just did Peter. Yeah. Okay, so we're at number 5. Number 5 was Troy Burress. He was a 50-year-old sausage salesman. How convenient. From Ocala. He would run up and down I-75 delivering sausages, and on his way back is when he ran into Aileen.
Damn.
He was reported missing on July 31st in 1990, and his body wasn't found until August 4th, 1990. Also found on a wooded area off of I-75. He had only been shot twice, so.
No, maybe he was a little nicer to her than the rest of them.
Yeah, or it could have been, a area where there were people around. You don't want to just blow off 9 rounds.
Yeah, that's fair. That too.
But he could have been, nicer. Still a pervert though. I think she had a big problem with men. So.
Oh, you think?
So when they would pick her up, and it was like she wanted them to pick her up too, so she could do. She already knew what she was going to do before she started.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Then we got number 6, which was only 1 month later, and that was Charles Dick Humphreys. They called him Dick. He was 56. He was a retired Air Force major, former state child abuse investigator, and a former chief of police. He was murdered on September 11th, 1990, and on September 12th, his body was found. But he was fully clothed and was shot 9 times in the head and torso, and was found on the ground outside of his car.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
Fully clothed. He wasn't naked this time.
Yep. And then number 7 was Walter Antonio. He was a trucker and a security guard, reserve police officer. Antonio's naked body was found near a remote logging road in Dixie County, and he'd been shot 4 times in the back and the head.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get back to Ty, who was like one of the ones that was in a relationship with Aileen. And somehow, because everything got so bad, they just separated. And on January 9th... I think I would...
Who was the one that wasn't found?
The one that the body wasn't found? That was...
Yeah.
When she wasn't charged. Okay, so Peter Symes was the one that wasn't found.
Who? Which one?
Peter Symes, who's the
Oh.
65-year-old retired merchant seaman.
Oh.
Mhm. So now we get to where the police have contacted, well, on January 19th, 1991, Wuornos was arrested at the Lake Resort Biker Bar in Volusia County due to outstanding warrants in the name of Lori Grody. I guess that's one of her aliases. The reason she was arrested was because police located Ty in Pittsburgh, Ty, which is who her girlfriend is, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and agreed to get a confession from Wuornos in exchange for immunity for prosecution. Yep. She flipped the script. So she returned back to Florida to work for the police, and where she was put up in a motel under police guidance. She made numerous telephone calls to Wuornos, pleading for her to help her clear her name. And 3 days later, on January 16th, 1991, Wuornos, she confessed to the murders. Like, she claimed the men had tried to rape her, and she killed them in self-defense. In November 1991, Wuornos was legally adopted by a 44-year-old Aileen Wuornos, who she didn't know and wasn't related to her. She saw her photo in the newspaper and just asked if she could adopt her. Yeah.
Bitch, what?
The strangest shit ever.
That's so weird. Who just sees somebody's photo in a newspaper? And isn't she like a grown-ass woman by this point?
Absolutely.
And chooses to adopt
And this
them.
woman chose to adopt her. I did hear...
That's... Okay.
I did hear certain information where there was like, where there was a sting going on. Apparently one of the cops was undercover at the last resort, which sounds like a definite Florida bar. And he was on like a 3-day binge with her, but not with her, but he was spending money in the bar, and she was noticing that he had money.
Oh.
Yes, so.
Always after that moolah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Always after that moolah.
Well, once they...
Damn, that's crazy. This bitch killed people.
Yeah.
To support your ass, and you gonna turn her in like that. Not turn her in, but...
No, sniff. Yeah, she
damn.
sniffed.
That's tragic.
Yeah, Aileen definitely loved Ty more than Ty loved Aileen, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Which is crazy, because in the movie, they portray it as Ty liking her a lot more than...
Yeah, I noticed that as well. It's like, whatever sells.
Being more obsessed with her than Aileen, however you...
Yeah. So they...
What just happened?
Your dad farted. It's fucking ridiculous. I can't have anything nice. Well, let's continue. It stinks in here, but let's continue. Wuornos.
I'm keeping this in.
Yeah. Wuornos was incarcerated, kind of how I feel right now, at Broward Correctional Institution on death row. And then she was transferred to the Florida State Prison to be actually executed. Her appeal to the Supreme Court was denied in 1996. And then she kind of gave up in 2001. Like, she petitioned them, and they dismissed her. And she was like, all right, well, just dismiss all my legal counsel, terminate my pending appeals. And then she stated, I killed those men, robbed them, as cold as ice, and I'll do it again, too.
Go Aileen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, poor guys. Rest in peace.
Don't be a perv. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are still victims.
They are. Yeah.
However, the first guy had to do something.
Yeah.
To get her to break like that.
To rile her up to do
Yeah.
this many, 7 murders in 1 year.
Yeah.
Her nickname.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The bitch was crazy to begin with, but like.
Yeah, you just woke or poked the bear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or both. Like, her nickname was Damsel of Death.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And she was executed in 2002. And like I said, all she wanted was 1 cup of coffee.
My kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
My kind of girl right there.
Keep it simple. They did do a psychological testing on her while she was in jail. And she was obviously diagnosed with borderline disorder and antisocial disorder. And the one thing I'm kind of sad about is she didn't have a signature as a serial killer. She needed some kind of signature, but she didn't. So, I think death might have just been the signature.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go straight to the point. She had a hard life. Her mom was only 16 when she gave birth to her. So her mom didn't know what she was doing, and the generational curses just continue. Go down.
And I mean, if her grandparents did that to her, you have no idea what they did to her mom.
Yeah, especially with the suspected abuse of her grandfather. Then her grandma dies, and she's left in the hands of them.
I wonder who Eileen's kid is.
I know. I want to find him. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
He's probably come through my hospital. I guarantee it. we take the most extreme patients, and I could see how her son would probably be an extreme patient. But we never had a Wuornos, because if we did, I would be like, oh, I know that name, because I've loved her story.
Yeah. It also depends on how he was raised too.
That's true.
And since he was put up for adoption, I mean, some people get bad homes, but some other people get good ones.
Yeah.
So, you never know what kind of home he went into.
Hopefully it was better than what.
They probably could have got him medicated early on and tested out early on just to make sure. You never know.
Uh-huh.
Especially if the parents knew who his mom was.
Yeah.
They were probably like, all right, this bitch is crazy. We gotta check you out.
They probably didn't even tell him. They were like, don't know. She's
probably not.
A beautiful woman. But one thing I could see, especially in my job too, is that and some of the kids have had the trauma early on, like 2, 3, and they get adopted out, and somehow that still resurfaces. So it's not even, I don't know if just because she had, because of everything that had happened in her life, that her son would do those same things if nothing bad happened to him. But I can tell you with my children that are 2 or 3, the parents will tell me, I adopted them at, when they were 3 years old. How do they remember this? And it sometimes still resurfaces. So
I remember busting my head open when I was 3.
Yeah. They remember more than some people think.
Still remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now that's crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if you'd know this, but was he adopted right after, directly after she gave birth?
Yeah. She was at the unwed mother's house, and then she was adopted out. Or he was adopted out from right after she gave birth. So.
Damn, now I kind of want to,
I kind of want to look into him.
Yeah.
see how he turned out.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Hold on.
Okay.
Let's take a minute here. Let's see if
We can find a name. She might, well, I mean, I don't know if she was able to name her son, but her brother's name was Keith. And he died.
Oh.
Yeah, and he left her like 10 grand when he died. But she just, put it up her nose.
Oh my god. I just now saw a picture of Eileen, and the actor that plays her in the movie
Mm-hmm.
looks so similar to her.
But the actor,
They picked a
yeah,
good actor for it.
absolutely. But if you see what she looks like normally, she's a beautiful woman. She had to put on weight and do all this stuff in order to play her.
Oh. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about that. Oh, the exact details of Aileen Wuornos' son are not public information. However, what we do know are the circumstances and events that led to the pregnancy in the first place. To paint an accurate picture, let us go back to whatever. So, okay, so it's not public.
No, I figured as much.
But that means somebody knows.
Yeah, somebody does know. I mean, it was a family friend that raped her when she got pregnant. So who knows if they had someone adopt him or.
Wow, that's crazy. I hope this kid doesn't know that he's Eileen's son.
Me either. I hope he's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what? One little thing in 1986 I didn't tell you about Wuornos. She was when she was 30, she met Ty. When Ty was 24, Tyria Moore. They met she was working at a hotel, and they met in Daytona Beach at a bar called Zodiac after our first episode.
Yeah, it was a closed adoption, so not much is known about what happened to Aileen Wuornos' child.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
She's.
Damn, I really want to find this out.
Well, that'll be part 2 if we are able to find any information.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I am there's gonna be a whole bunch of fakes. But I'm gonna search up people's things about, I am Aileen Wuornos' son and blah, 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 blah.
That's smart.
I'm gonna search that shit up and see which ones actually look like her.
I mean, it's public record. We could find out it.
Because, was it a family, it was a family friend.
That raped her, yeah.
Okay. I was about to, I thought it was a family member.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So I was like, then they'll definitely look alike since it stayed in the family.
But there was a lot of incest with her and her brother. So it could have been him, or it could have been, a family.
Oh my god!
It's like, how close are his eyes?
Ty Moore.
Yeah.
Tyria Moore.
Uh-huh.
She's so ugly.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're not easy on the eyes. Neither one of them.
Oh my gosh.
The reason why they were able to identify Aileen at that old country bar in Florida was because she has a ginormous scar on her forehead.
Does she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, it's in the center.
Yeah,
it's right in the center. I see it.
When they were trying to, make sure it was her and stuff like that, they said there was an undercover officer that hung out at that bar for like 3 days and was drinking, and I guess they would rent out the bus, like a bus that he could sleep in behind the bar. And so he would sleep there, and then he'd come back to the bar, and they, start drinking. It opened at 7 a.m., and he would start drinking and playing pool, and she saw he had money, and so they just had to make sure. And then when he realized, this is funny, when he really realized it was her and stuff, he was like, well, I can't have a stinky girl. He's like, both of us haven't showered in days because they've been hanging out at this little backwoods, Florida hot mosquito infested bar. And so he's like, well, I'm going to go get a hotel so we could shower because I'm not, doing it. Something. So when he went out, he met up with the officers that were waiting outside and acted like he was going to rent the hotel room. But he was actually like, yeah, it's her.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Tyria Moore is married.
Is she?
Yeah.
To a man or a woman?
A woman. Joyce Karchner. I just find it so funny. She went to college. She went to a community college.
Okay. After all
and
this shit happened.
her professions are former motel waitress and former forklift operator.
Tell me you're a dyke without telling me you're a dyke.
No offense.
No, I love it. I have plenty of friends. I mean,
my God.
I could not say
it. Yeah, that is really funny though. But yeah, she's 62 years old.
Wow. At least she's not in jail, and she didn't get.
And she currently lives in Pennsylvania.
Okay, she got out of Florida.
Berwick, Pennsylvania.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
But that's pretty much
that's basically about it.
You know, that's enough for 1 year, I guess. Like she's a crazy bitch.
She was going with it.
Mm-hmm. She had a mission, and
she ran with
it. I mean, I get it. She was angry. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, they were only together for 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Moore did start getting suspicious of Wuornos.
Of what she was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't tell her first.
Ty didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
She just started getting a little suspicious because Aileen was coming home with...
different cars.
I didn't click on anything. Yeah, stolen items and shit.
Mm-hmm. And she snitched on her.
I love how there's a thing... related searches. Where is Aileen Wuornos now? What do you mean? She's dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, where is she now? So wait, when did she end up becoming Wuornos? Because her last name was Pittman.
It was, but when her mom gave her to her grandparents. Her grandparents' last name was Wuornos.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I don't know. I'm confused.
She was executed in 2002.
Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, she really is pretty. Sorry, I was looking at pictures of the actress who played.
Oh, yeah. Charlene Theron's or whatever her name is.
Charlize or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done looking at pictures. I got so distracted.
Don't do it. You'll get it mixed up because you won't know which one's her and which one's actually the movie. Because the movie Monster was what really let me know about her, you know?
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I was like, oh no, I got to learn more about this girl.
It was a good movie. I need to finish it. I still haven't finished it.
It's a little traumatizing, but yeah, definitely good. But that's real.
I grew up on horror movies and the ID channel, so.
Yeah. But that's all I got for my first hosting episode.
Yay!
Come on,
you did such a great job.
I don't know. I think we'll get better with time. I'll get more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
More comfortable. But I wanted to start with that bitch.
That bitch. She is that bitch.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay.
That was... Damn.
A lot in a small amount of time, just like her. She Ms. Wuornos murdered 7 people in 1 year. So,
Yeah. Talk about a spree.
yeah.
Alrighty.
Well,
Oh,
I can't wait till the next
that
one.
is the end of episode 2.
Yes.
We pre-recorded episode 3, so all I have to do is edit that. So that means, Mama, you got another case to pick.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
I got my eye on a couple things, and you told me you got your eye on a couple things, so.
I do.
Yep. Oh. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Bye, mother truckers.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And you'll hear from us soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.